OET Listening Masterclass. My brief introduction. I'm Dr. Spinach. I'm an international medical graduate and I succeeded in passing FMGE, OET, and PLAB exams. I am now a registered medical practitioner with GMC in Great Britain. And I've also done my master's in psychology from Brunel University, London, which was, not required for this session. But anyways, that is me. Now, well, of course, I passed my OET exam. So today I am in a position to guide you for your OET exams as well. Okay, so that is why this class today, that is why I'm shooting it today for you. All right, so let's move on to what is it that we're going to cover in this class today. We are going to cover 7 things, starting from OET exam very briefly. Then we'll go about seeing OET listening format. Next, where can you find the resources to learn? So before I go into top 3 OET listening tips, like listening tips, or we're going to solve a question as well here. So just the listening tips. So where did I get this wisdom from? Where did I get to understand how to solve questions in listening? So those are the resources that we're going to learn in our third slide. And then we are going to understand how to get an A in OET listening, not just B, A. Then what is the recipe to pass this exam? And finally, how you can reach out to me for any further questions. Okay, so let's begin with the OET exam. I'll just move my screen over here. So OET exam consists of 4 subtests. These are listening, writing, reading, and speaking. Well, how much I scored? I scored 450 in speaking. That's an A. Then I scored 420 in listening, 400 in reading, and 390 in writing. And the minimum required score to write the exam PLAB 1 or AKT, future PLAB 1, is B. That means 350 out of 500 in all the subtests, all right? So let's go on to understanding the OET listening format, okay? So in OET listening, the total time that's given to you is 40 minutes. You have 3 parts in OET listening, part A, part B, and part C, all right? Now, starting from part A, what is covered in part A? First of all, the type of questions that are asked in part A are fill in the blanks. All right. The type of questions are fill in the blanks. Now, these fill in the blanks, you'll get a sheet where you'll have to fill up these fill in the blanks, listening to the recording. And the recording is normally a consultation between a doctor and a patient. So there will be 2 recordings, that means 2 consultations, and a total of 24 questions divided 12 and 12 into consultations, okay? Then part B. Part B consists of 6 multiple choice questions with 3 options. In this, you'll hear 6 short recordings per question. So you'll have a recording and you'll have a question. Recording, question. It will go like this, okay? And finally, you have part C, which has 12 total questions with 3 or 4 options. These are multiple choice questions, okay? And these are actually 2 long extracts. So these extracts could be an interview on a research paper or just a monologue of a research paper or anything, not just a research paper. So it could be a dialogue or a monologue, okay? So 2 long extracts, 6 and 6 questions divided in those 2, okay? And now moving on to the next slide of ours, that is, where can you find resources to practice your OET listening, okay? And to understand how to go about getting good scores or passing scores in OET listening. Well, I'll start with where I gained my understanding from. So I'd like to thank Swoosh English for that. So Swoosh English has, native English speaking folks who actually guide us very well. So I don't know if I can highlight this. Let's see if I can highlight. Yes, I can highlight it. So swoosh English. Well, they have pretty, like they have many videos, and then you have live classes, and and then they have practice mock exams. So basically what happens is you can even ask your doubts in the live classes, and you can learn to pronounce the words correctly. Next is OET official website. There is a ton of information on OET official website to learn for any subtest, not just OET listening subtest. Next is power of analyzation. Well, power of analyzation is something you should listen to me attentively and carefully. Well, power of analyzation requires your active learning skills. Now let's take an example. Suppose you marked an answer wrong. You need to understand your process of thinking and what you missed in the text or the recording that you marked the other option uh, rather than the corrected one. And along with that, you need to understand that why is the other answer correct, which you marked, which you didn't mark. So basically, you need to have skills where you understand why you marked an answer wrong, what were you thinking, and what did you miss, and what is it that you should not miss in a question or in a recording or in a text so that your answer goes correct. I hope this makes sense. If not, I'll let you know again. So you can just drop me a DM, okay? So this is very important, analyzing your mistakes and taking active steps to correct them. So once you've done your question paper, once you've listened to all the recordings and your 40 minutes are over, parts A, B, and C, you see that you have certain questions marked incorrect. Now go back and listen to the recording again and see what is it that you missed. Read the question again along with MCQs and see what is it that you missed. So that helps a lot. I have focused a lot on the point number 3. And finally, friends. Well, friends, with feedback from friends, um, and learning from friends in terms of asking them how are they doing their subtest. Apart from that, even with swoosh English, I got to make a lot of friends, so from a lot of different countries, that made me familiarize myself with a different way of speaking, different accents. Now I'll give you an example here. So I made friends with a guy from Greece. He actually told me that we Indians pronounce what as wrong. So so like he actually corrected my pronunciation. So how we say like what and where, anything that starts with W is were. We use were, that is what, were in Hindi. Okay. And actually it is not were, it is were. So you see, an O is like an O comes before V there. Were. It's not were, it's were. I hope you understand that. So that was a very, eye-opening and lightening pronunciation challenge, as well as like, I'm doing this from the very beginning, from a long time, and I get corrected for this. So I was very happy about that. So that too. Now moving on to the next slide, we are gonna now. This is the peak slide that you were waiting for, right? So 3 top OET listening tips. Now, these are the tips that will make or break you. So, well, that was not a very good phrase to use, but anyways, please listen to them carefully and apply them while you are doing your listening subtests, okay? OET listening. Now, the first thing is that you have to understand is you have to thoroughly, understand the pattern of the exam. all the parts in listening, parts A, B, and C. So I gave you a brief overview of what part A consists of. What is part A? There's a consultation. Part B are short recordings. Part C could be monologue or a dialogue. So I gave you an understanding of what part A, B, and C are, what type of questions are asked. Similarly, you have to develop an understanding and retain that understanding of the pattern of OET listening exam. Okay, so first and foremost is that until unless you don't know what's the pattern of the exam, you won't be able to go about it and use the other tips that I am going to give you right now. Now, the second thing is for part A. Let's say for part A. Now, before the recording starts, you get 30 seconds to go, okay, to go through your sheet. So when you start with part A, as I told you, as is written on the PowerPoint, that before the recording starts, you get 30 seconds to go through your sheet. Now, what you have to do is utilize them efficiently. And how are you going to utilize these 30 seconds efficiently? I'll tell you right now. Okay. So let's say this is a question paper here. Okay. This is a sample question paper taken from OET official website. Okay. Let me just minimize myself for a while. So going on, well, you can see that this is a patient and doctor, patient doctor consultation, and you now have to fill in the blanks. Okay, so what you have to do in the first 30 seconds that you get before the recording starts is go through the go through the paper that's given to you, and check on like all the 12 questions, the blanks of all those 12 questions, and predict what could come there. So once you predict what could come there, what could fit in those blanks, try to listen to that during the recording. Now, how can you predict that? Now, let's take an example here. Now, back injury sustained lifting dash. Well, what would you lift? Weights? Maybe, so it could be something weights, or it could be a dumbbell. So yeah, so what you have to listen to is something that's related to weight, right? Gym equipments perhaps. Okay, the next thing is patient's description of now pain located in somewhere. Pain is located in this must be some body part, so you have to listen to the body part when in the recording. So when pain described as, now pain could be a character like sharp, dull, what kind of pain is it, or very intense, so it could be some kind of adjective, right? Continuous or intermittent. So that is something that you have to try to listen during the recording. So this is how you can approach your part A. All right, the next thing is, the final thing is listening to podcasts. Let me just maximize myself again. The final thing is listening to podcasts. Okay, this is very important. Why? How can the podcast help you, and where can you find them? So first thing is, how can the podcast help you improve? Well, listening to podcast makes well, especially medical range podcasts, like you can go to again OET official website to find. Where can you find them? So you can find them going into OET official website. There are like a lot of podcasts that are listed there, which you can listen to practice your OET listening. So how they help you? First of all, they make it a habit for you to listen to different kinds of accents, right? So, and it also helps you clear pronunciations of some words that might not be clear for you, that you might be, maybe listening to them or speaking them in a wrong way, right? So that, and plus it makes a habit for you to listen to them, and it becomes your second, uh, you know, it's like, involuntary, that you're going to listen to that attentively, right? Focusfully, focused, and you don't have to put your brains to it to focus. So that's a habit that you develop when you listen to podcast. I hope this makes sense. Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying this class. Well, because I'm speaking a lot at the moment, so I'm just going to wrap this class up very fast. Next slide is, I don't like this. Yeah. Okay. So talking about the skills required for OET listening. So overall skills that you require for OET listening is focus. First of all, especially for part C, focus is very, very important, because in part C, what happens is the dialogue gets a little boring, or even the monologue gets a little boring, and our mind tends to wander. So we don't want to do that. We have to have skills where we can actually focus, attentive listening, and ability to predict the answer type, which I already discussed. Now, finally, the most debated thing is how to get an A in OET listening, not just B. We're talking about an A. So let's start with summary of what we discussed. Well, the first thing is following the tricks that we discussed in this video today, in this class today. The next thing is practicing sample papers. Okay, practicing makes a man perfect, a woman too. Okay, the next thing is right guidance. Right guidance from where? Right guidance from the teachers, right? More practice under supervision. And understanding the skills required. So basically, these last 2, 3, 4, and 5, these things, what these things are going to come under if you are going to subscribe to a premium preparation provider, which is Swoosh English. Okay, so understanding the skills required. So what skills I gave you right now, what tips I gave you right now is are just a part of it. And with Swoosh English, you can actually understand a lot. You can actually go through and make yourself even more better with OET listening, or even any OET subtest. So so all of this is provided or covered in English classes, all right, at Swoosh. And the next thing is, well, okay, so what is it that they cover? So I'll give you a brief overview of, because students ask me that you tell Swoosh, because I took coaching from Swoosh. So what is it that they would cover? So what is it that comes with the package when you buy the classes from Swoosh English, a subscription from Swoosh English? They actually give you a set of recorded videos for OET listening subtest. Then there are videos for understanding or analyzing the results of a mock test. Okay, so there will be a teacher who will tell you, like, why is the answer to this is this. So they basically tell you how to analyze it, your answer, your question. Okay, if you get it wrong or if you get it right, no matter, doesn't matter. How to analyze what you just marked. Okay, next is online listening classes with training on listening. Now this is very like this is something I used to think, like, how can anyone give me training on listening? Listening is something I have to do it myself. I understand that speaking needs feedback and writing needs feedback, but why listening? But I was wrong. When I started attending these classes, I got to understand that actually they have very innovative ways to make us learn, to make us uh, grab marks in OET listening. So well, that training is really good. Okay, the next thing is practice during the classes. So even during the classes, they'll make you practice for OET listening, set of mocks. And finally, for some of the subscriptions like Deluxe, Premium, and VIP courses, they have a VIP Telegram group support where they answer your queries or doubts, and give you a personal, you can have like your queries answered really quick in that VIP group. All right, so that's the support that you get. So this is all what is covered in Swoosh English classes. And finally, what is the recipe to pass in one go? I already described this. What is the recipe to pass in one go? Say with me. You have to practice, 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 and you have to have a right guidance. You have to have a right guidance. All right. So remember that. Now, finally, how to reach out to me. First of all, I hope you enjoyed this class today. I kind of like made it a little brief, and I kind of tried to complete it really quick. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. So regarding OET exam, regarding the package that can suit you well, you can reach out to me using any of the following means. So I am on Facebook with Dr. Spinach. I'm on Instagram. Well, you can use the handle at Dr__Spinach, then or YouTube using the same handle, or just type Dr. Spinach, and you can reach out to me using that email ID as well, just on your screen. Okay, if you don't have Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. Okay, so that is it. That is about my presentation today. That is about my class today. I really, really, really hope you enjoyed it. And well, that is it. I'll see you in my next class now. You have a very, very good day, everyone. Thank you so much.